Michael had already gone diving once that day, and he was planning to go diving again. He wanted to see what he could find on the sandy bottom, and it seemed like the right time to do so. The vast shadow seemed to come out of nowhere and was too much for him to handle. He couldn't help but feel scared because he knew he couldn't swim away fast enough. A few seconds later, he got struck and his mind went blank. Hello and welcome to Amazing Animal Stories. Today's story of a meeting between this man and a humpback whale will bring tears to your eyes. However, before we begin our story, we would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe to our channel, Amazing Animal Stories, and also press the bell icon. Let's get started. Michael Packard had worked in the waters near Provincetown for a long time. Provincetown is at the northern tip of the Cape Cod Peninsula. He often fished around Herring Cove Beach in his JA&J boat, and loved every minute of it. Even though he loved his job, it was dangerous, and he would soon find out how dangerous it was. Because lobsters are worth a lot of money, about 30,000 people start diving for them yearly, but that didn't make lobster diving any less dangerous. Michael did not dive for lobsters for fun, but to make money. Every time he went into the water, he made sure to take the proper precautions. Michael knew that Cape Cod was one of the places where people ran into the most dangerous sea creatures. He would often go diving in waters where sharks lived and hunted. White sharks are often seen in this area and are known for attacking most people on Cape Cod. Sharks are often misunderstood and nowhere near as dangerous as movies make them out to be. But the chance of a shark attack increases as the number of sharks increases. Even though Cape Cod is known for its white sharks, many other types of sharks hunted and live there. People know that tiger sharks and great white sharks like to swim in the water around Cape Cod. But that's not all. Giant Cape Cod stingrays also live in the water there. Most people who have met these creatures have had friendly interactions with them, but Michael Packard's case shows this isn't always the case. In June 2021, Michael went diving with his sister and their boat crew. Everything was going as it should have. Michael was using his usual scuba gear and swimming towards the sandy bottom, usually where the best lobsters were. It was his second dive of the day. The water was warmer than usual, and the conditions were excellent. Michael saw schools of sand lancers as he went down. Suddenly, he felt a firm bump, and then a huge shadow covered him and made everything dark. Before Michael could figure out what was going on, he was yanked out of the water and landed back on the surface. No one was able to fully understand what they had just seen. After being rescued and brought back to the boat, everyone else was as stunned as Michael about what had occurred. Michael had been swallowed by a giant humpback whale, which thankfully spits him out. Even though whales are enormous, they were not thought to be aggressive. When the news about Michael's scary experience spread, experts agreed it was probably an accident. Whales get their food by sucking up a lot of tiny plankton or small fish. In this case, the whale was most likely trying to feed on the school of sand lancers nearby when Michael was inadvertently caught in the feeding vacuum its mouth created. Michael was lucky that the whale didn't have teeth, so he could get away without getting hurt badly. The whale's esophageal opening isn't big enough to fit a person inside. Michael was probably stuck in the whale's mouth for about a minute before his wriggling caused the whale to spit him out again. Not surprisingly, Michael's scary experience with the whale made many people think of a story from the Bible. In the well-known story, a whale was also said to have eaten the biblical character Jonah. Michael didn't have any broken bones or any serious injuries, but he did have soft tissue damage. After his accident, Michael didn't talk to anyone for a few days. He needed time to rest. Michael had a hard time his first few nights at home. He kept seeing the humpback whale that ate him every time he closed his eyes. It was a terrible thing that happened to him, making him wonder what his life was all about. Michael liked the sea a lot. He was like that. Now, whenever he thought about his job, he had to remember something painful. He liked his job, but was it still worth it? The news of his accident spread quickly, and reporters came to his house every day, but he still wouldn't talk to them. He had to decide what to do. Michael's wife helped him improve until he was ready to return to the world. Michael said after breakfast one day, "If I've been through the worst, I can only look forward to the best." He smiled at his wife. It sounded like music to her. She had been waiting for her happy husband to return with patience. Michael hugged his wife and told her to sit down. Now he was ready to talk to people and face the world. She told him she would help him with the interviews. Michael agreed to talk to a local news station for the first time. The reporter felt humbled to be in Michael's presence and thanked him for being able to tell his story. "What was it like inside the whale's mouth?" he asked. Michael took a deep breath and closed his eyes. He looked at the reporter and told his story for the first time. He said, "It was cold, dark, and wet. I was only in the whale's mouth for 30 to 40 seconds, but it felt like an eternity." The reporter seemed to sense Michael's inner conflict and asked him more questions. "Michael, you are one of the best fishermen in the area, and this isn't the first time you've hurt yourself in the water. Do you think you're getting too old for this job?" Michael gave him a sharp look and said, "Of course not. I'm still in great shape. I don't know what the ocean wants from me." "What does that mean?" the reporter asked. "Are you going into dangerous waters on purpose just to get a thrill?" "I don't just work for myself at my job. It makes me who I am. Yes, there are risks in the water, but that's the chance I have to take, isn't it? Since I was a boy, I've been swimming in these waters. I'm not afraid, and I don't try to fight the sea either." "Neither should any of you," he said, staring straight into the camera lens. Michael kept telling the reporter how dangerous it is to be a fisherman. "Down there, you will find some of the biggest lobsters you'll ever see. To catch them, you'll have to be an expert. We can't send an amateur into this place. Ask any fisherman and they'll tell you." The reporter agreed by nodding. He said that some people who had seen whales up close wanted to talk to him about their experiences. He showed him pictures of fishermen in the east who were often visited by a friendly whale that swam upriver. Michael agreed that animals are the best part of the natural world. He tells young people to try to stop water pollution and save the animals in our oceans. The interview went well, and Michael returned from it feeling like he was meant to do more than just fish. The interview was shown on the local TV station and made a lot of noise around town. Michael brought much attention to Cape Cod. Everyone wanted to take pictures of the beach and try to find the humpback whale that eats people. Michael couldn't get away from the attention. Getting people to be aware was giving them the tools they needed. He had to show people around the beach, take them out in his boat, and pose for photos with everyone. It felt like work. News spread quickly across the US until he got an unexpected phone call. One night, Michael's wife picked up the phone. The phone rang and it was the host of a popular TV talk show. He wanted Michael to come on his show. They would pay for him to fly to the studios in New York. Michael agreed, and he went with his friends and family. Since Josiah was the only one who pulled Michael out of the water, the host also wanted to hear his side of the story. Josiah said he was initially scared because he thought this was the dreaded shark attack. But after a few seconds, he saw the whale's fin and knew something else was happening. He said that Michael was lucky to be alive, even though he was the best at what he did. The TV show was a big hit, and wasn't just about making a humorous satire of Michael's terrifying experience. Michael said that he would be more careful in his work from now on. He had already started getting ready to go lobster diving again by doing warm-up exercises. There is one thing for sure, Michael is an oceanic diehard. So that's it for today. Let us know your views in the comment section below. We hope you found this story very interesting. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with others. Also, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel, Amazing Animal Stories. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our new uploads. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.